Hi guys, it's Shocked here with another video, and today I'm going to be going through a 100% critical build for a max death. This is going to help you out so much in most, if not all, of the major boss battles, even in places like Medulla, Graveyard, even places like Secret Tunnel, Lawmaster, Mirror Lake. This is going to help you out so much and make things so much easier. And in case you were wondering, no, we're not using any bundle gear whatsoever. So without any further ado, let's just jump straight into what gear I'm using for this build. So as for the hat, we are of course using the Deathly Paradox hat. One of the best hats in the game for stats, hands down. You can get this from the Astral Forest in Imperia Part 2. As for the robe, we are using the Baleful Light Brigade armor. I still disagree with the robe in terms of how it's more of a downgrade than an upgrade, and even for 25 levels, if you compare this to the Darkmoor robe, for 25 levels it's just a bit disappointing of an upgrade. Yeah, you're still getting the same pip chance, but things like accuracy, there doesn't really need to be a decrease in accuracy, especially for 25 levels. You can get the Baleful Light Brigade armor from Corporal Tennyson, the Skeleton Key boss in Imperia Part 1. As for the boots, we are again using Paradox here, the Deathly Paradox boots. These are fantastic pieces of gear. 30% damage, 114 crit, 9% pip chance, and a bit of resist. You can get this from the Astral Forest in Imperia Part 2. Next up for the wand, the Tormentor Shredder. Pretty much any of the lower damage skulls, so pretty much from Myth and below Myth, will probably want to use the Jack Hallows gear or the Tormentor's gear. Yeah, so 195 death crit. There is nothing else in this game that has a higher crit than these types of wands. You can get the Tormentor Shredder from the Harrowing Nightmare pack. Unfortunately, this isn't a mainstream pack. You can only get the Harrowing Nightmare pack if there's something like a Pack-a-Palooza or it's Halloween. It's only like 2 months from Halloween, not even that. So if you want a max crit set, please wait until the Halloween packs come and try and get the Tormentor Shredder from the Harrowing Nightmare packs. You will need it. As for the Athame, for Morganth Athame, the Mercy of Shadow of Light, with a pretty nice 16% pip chance, 17% death damage, and of course you have 2 circle sockets for crit jewels. You can get 18 crit jewels, but 17 crit jewels is absolutely fine, and of course you have a 10% accuracy. You can get the Mercy of Shadow of Light from Morganth's Chamber in Chrysalis. As for the amulet, the Death Seeker's Talisman, this is pretty much the best crit amulet in the game. You have 4% pierce, which is nice to have, and you have 4% resist. And for the jewels, you have 2 square sockets. It doesn't really matter what you put in them. Universal resist is nice, but anything else, maybe if you want stun resist, that's absolutely fun as well. You can get the Death Seeker's Talisman from Shane Von Shane in the upper halls only. You cannot get this from Shane Von Shane in the Graveyard. It's only available in the upper halls dungeon in Graveyard. Not in Graveyard, in Darkmoor. So only from upper halls in Darkmoor. As for the ring, we're using the Deathly Paradox ring. Again, this is pretty much the best ring you're going to get in the game for crit. 91 crit and 9% damage. Some people will still choose the Ghost Dog Stylu because you get a bit more health, but honestly, the Paradox ring still gives more crit and the same damage, so it's your decision really, honestly. You can get the Deathly Paradox ring from the Spiritual Forest in Imperia Part 2. As for the pet, this is probably one of the most important things you'll need. For this set in particular, I'm using a triple damage and triple crit. So, as for the crit talents, yes, this kind of failed. It should have really gotten Death Striker instead of Critical Hitter, but Death Striker would have given you 3 more crit. It wouldn't really make a difference. This is still 100% crit, nonetheless. So, just something to keep in mind. So yeah, crit damage, 3 of each. There you go. You can also have quad damage and double crit. Quad crit and double damage is also an option, but honestly, this is probably the most easiest you can get. Triple damage, triple crit. Next up is the mount. We have a Death Gulcher here. 3% damage. You will want this if you want to focus on damage as well as crit, of course. So this will really help it on a max damage, max crit set. You can get the Death Gulcher pet. Sorry, not pet. You can get the Death Gulcher mount from the Gulcher's Sword pack. This is quite a rare drop. I wouldn't say this is mandatory, but of course if you want just the highest damage possible in a viable max crit set, there's no reason not to go for the Death Gulcher. Of course it is quite rare though, so please don't try and waste too much money on this. As for the deck, we're using the Deathly Paradox deck, of course, with a 10% pip chance duel. You have 50 death crit on this, so pretty nice. You can get the Deathly Paradox deck from the Elemental Forest in Imperial Part 2. And elixirs we don't need because no one cares about elixirs. So in total, what stats do we have? 127% damage, 25 accuracy, 841 crit, so that's 100% critical rating here. And of course you have 10% armor piercing. You do want a bit of pierce, especially in the later game. Enemies will be using things like fortify, so you want a bit of pierce to at least get some damage through. Obviously 15% less damage is noticeable, I would say, so 10% pierce is fine. There are other options out there. If you have a look at my boss set, you have slightly less damage. Instead of 118 instead of 127, you have a bit more resistance, but you have considerably more piercing as well. Anything above 15% piercing for a boss set is absolutely fine. Strike is always a thing. As you can see, I've got a strike in this deck. This is my boss deck. You don't need too many spells. If you have a reshuffle, you don't need too many hits. You don't need too many blades. Frenzy, you will want to use Frenzy, especially on a fast set like Secret Tunnel or Lawmaster or Mirror Lake. Frenzy is basically a 4-turn blade, so really helps you out, especially because you're deaf. You're going to be healing back anyway with a Lulu or Scarecrow, so don't worry too much about 30% incoming damage you're going to be receiving. You're going to heal back anyway, so yeah, that's my quick deck, by the way. Like I said, there's what, 12 spells in there plus 2 blades, so yeah. So I think that's pretty much it for this. So yeah, let me go back into my main crit set. So 127 damage and 100% crit. There are a couple of alternatives. I'll go through them now actually. We have the Mantis Cowl Lamentation. You can craft this in Sardonyx. The downside to this hat is that there's no universal resist and there's no pip chance. However, if you don't really care about universal resist or pip chance, this is definitely a starter option. It's only level 96, so even if you're not even level 100 yet, maybe if you're starting Graveyard, this is a nice hat to have if you want a lot of critical. Other hats I can suggest, some of the Tartarus hats have 160 crit, 155 crit. Those are good options as well. They're level 90, so you can get those even earlier than the Mantis Cowl or the Crocopatra hat. This is a good hat as well if you want all-round stats. A bit less damage than the Paradox hat, but you're getting 12% resist and a bit of piercing as well, so something that's nice to have. Valiant Jousters, I don't really recommend this. I don't even know how I have this still, but something I should know. As for the robe, you have 3 options there. Of course, you have Baleful Light Brigade armor. If you want 100% pip chance with the Deathlord's Cloak of War, you can trade off an accuracy jewel for a pip jewel. You will have 107% pip chance. The Zeus Wicked Ploy armor as well is an option. In fact, if I wear this right now and I change this to a crit, you will have 129 damage with 100% crit. However, I will stick to the Baleful Light Brigade armor because you have 15% more resist and a bit more accuracy as well. So let's put the Baleful Light Brigade armor back on. As for the wand, honestly, I wouldn't really bother with any other ones, because this is by far the best crit ones in the game. Obviously, you're still getting 127 damage, even with a Tormentor Shredder, which has no damage whatsoever. So, honestly, just get the Tormentor Shredder. The Halloween packs come out in, like I said, less than 2 months' time, so just wait for that. Honestly, they're not really that rare, these ones. Just make sure that you do get your score, because there are 7 different ones. As for the Athame, there isn't really any other options. I mean, you can get the Graveyard Athame from the first dude. I can't pronounce his name, but I think you know what I'm talking about. But one that gives 2% accuracy. That has 1% less damage, but you still get 2 Circle Jewels. You'll need those Circle Jewels. You really will. As for the Amulet, there are 3 options here. You have the Death Seeker's Talisman, if you want just crit and pierce, and resist as well. The highest in the game, pretty much, for this. A Shadow Queen's Grace is also a good option, especially in a boss set if you do want those 2 extra death bays, which will help you out quite a bit. And of course you do get a bit of crit block, but no one cares about crit block anymore. As for the ring, you have 2 options really, definitely Paradox Ring and a Ghost Dog Style Loop. Ghost Dog Style Loop is sort of better for boss battles if you want a bit more health. It doesn't really matter, it's your decision really, it doesn't make that much of a difference. She's still getting the same damage. Yeah, as I said for the pets, quad damage, double crit will take your damage to 130. Unfortunately I don't actually have that, so I can't really use that as an example. Quad crit, double damage will sort of make your options a bit more expanded, but here I have a triple, so smack bang in the middle. As for mount, I think there's a couple of other mounts. There's I think there's 2 or 3 other mounts that give damage, but Death Gulcher gives 3% damage, which is the highest. Of course, this is a rare mount. Please don't waste too much money on the Gulcher packs, because these are quite rare. I must have spent about 7,500 for this. Some people have spent a lot more. It just depends on luck, and unfortunately, this is King's Isle. You could spend 30,000 crowns and still not get the Death Gulcher. As for the deck, if you want to sacrifice 1 piercing jewel for a crit jewel, you could use the Rasputin's Wicked Hand, which might be slightly better for a boss battle if you want more copies, I guess, but honestly, if you have a reshuffle, you don't need too many spells. Where's my boss deck? This is my boss deck. This is using the Paradox deck. So you don't need too many spells in the deck, so the lack of copies doesn't really make that much of a difference anyway. So I hope that gave you an insight into how to get a decent max crit build. Like I said, this is no bundle gear whatsoever. This is all from either the main game or from packs. Of course, the Tormentor Shredder is probably the most important, then the pet, because if you don't have a good pet, you can't really get max crit. If you don't have a Tormentor Shredder, it's incredibly hard to get max crit. It is durable, but you will need to sacrifice a lot of other stats, especially damage. So just keep that in mind, I guess. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.